Nissan is smack dab in the middle of making its lineup far more appealing. There's a new Nissan Z on the horizon, the Frontier redesign looks pretty darn good, and the Rogue is a nice vehicle. But now it's time to check in on the Pathfinder. This is the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder. We saw it on the sheet metal a few months back, and now we finally get to drive the thing. So come on, let's do it. All right, well, first things first, there's an order to this. Let's talk about how it looks. This is a fresh look for the Pathfinder. You've got a new face, an overall bolder, more rugged look, and a stronger stance. Right off the bat, we find this more appealing than the outgoing model. Speaking of which, now's probably a decent time to head to Autotrader for prices on the 2020 version. This new one should edge those older ones down a bit, and there's no 2021 model year out there. The tall shoulders work well. The taillight design looks nicely integrated into the rear hatch, and we're a fan of the large Pathfinder lettering on the tail. At each corner, you'll find standard 18-inch wheels with 255 series all-season tires. You can jump up to 20-inch wheels as an optional extra, but they do come standard on the highest spec model. Oh, and check out the nose. See these 3 slots? That's a nod to the OG 1987 Pathfinder. That's a nice touch. Inside, we have a nicely reworked cabin space with good room in all 3 rows. Standard on almost every trim, the Pathfinder uses a bench for the second row and offers an optional set of captain's chairs if you prefer. This takes it from an 8-passenger to a 7-passenger vehicle. These second row captain's chairs do come standard on the top tier Platinum trim for those of you who have money to burn and want one less person inside your vehicle. As for tech, the standard display is an 8-inch color touchscreen. There's a 9-inch center display available as an option. Standard ahead of the driver is a 7-inch in-dash display, but Nissan also offers a massive 12.3-inch digital dashboard as well as a 10.8-inch head-up display on the Platinum model. Standard kit includes Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Nissan Intelligent Key with push start, a handful of USB ports, and Nissan Safety Shield 360 safety system. Pop open the hood and you'll find a 3.5-liter V6 making 284 horsepower and 259 pound-feet of torque. But best of all is the fact that you won't find a CVT under the skin. Nissan is using a brand new 9-speed automatic gearbox here. And you can have your Pathfinder as a front driver or with all-wheel drive. Both versions come standard with the drive mode selector, but the all-wheel drive Pathfinder also gets terrain mode selection and hill descent control. But how does it drive? So finally, we're getting seat time in the new Pathfinder. This is a good thing. This is a very good thing because I feel like this is an important car for Nissan. Yes, the Rogue will probably sell better. It definitely will sell better. Affordable compact crossovers are selling like crazy right now. I'm not going to say hotcakes because that's cliche, but the Pathfinder is a more interesting vehicle to me, and it's a name that has been in the Nissan family for some time now, so it's important for them to get this vehicle right, I think. And I think they have. This is a great option in the 3-row crossover space. This is not a top spec car. This is an SL model, and it is very nicely equipped. The seats are very comfortable. When you floor it, the gearbox kicks down in a familiar manner because it's a 9-speed and not a silly CVT. You have paddles to put it into actual gears, which is almost a novelty these days. But I like the shape of the steering wheel. Like I said, the seats are comfortable. The second row seats are comfortable. You can fit actual people in the 3rd row. The cabin layout itself works well. I like this tall center stack right here, very upright center stack, which works well in a crossover shaped vehicle, I believe. And it's actually really big and bright and easy to read, so if maybe your older parents were considering a vehicle like this, they could easily see what's on the screen, and that's important too. The new Nissan logo looks good. This is a reinvention for the brand on a small scale, and it's important. And a vehicle like the Pathfinder is going to help lead the way. But how does it actually drive? I mean, 285 horsepower is fine. There's a towing package available, which I believe lets you tow up to 6,000 pounds with one of these, but it is not a sports car. It is not a nimble machine, and I don't expect it to be. But let's take this corner kind of quick and see what happens. There go the GoPros. Lots of tire squeal from the all seasons, but I mean, steering wise, it made it. And the actual steering feels nicely weighted for what it is. The brakes feel good to haul this thing down from speed, and the ride itself is very comfortable. Now this is just an on-road review of the vehicle, but this is an all-wheel drive model, so we do have different driving modes that you can access from the drive mode selector down here. I just leave it in auto, but there's snow, mud and rut, sand. You scroll back down, there's an eco, a sport, and a towing mode. So I'm putting it back to auto. Then there's a button, because this is all-wheel drive, you get the hill descent control mode as well. So all of that combined does make me want to get one of these dirty and, you know, find a path. Dad joke. Sorry. But I think we're gonna have to do a round 2 of one of these and see what it can do on a trail. It's not a crazy off-road focused vehicle, but there is a little bit of perhaps adventure to be found in one of these. And I would like to try to find that someday. Today is not that day, but I think we're gonna have to do a part 2 of this and put it to its test. But we're using this in a manner in how it is going to be used. Shuttling around day to day, plenty of room. If you need to haul stuff, fold those seats down in the back for the 3rd row, and there's great cargo room. I really like the captain's chair set up, but if a bench makes sense for you, that's fine too, especially because everything except the top trim, it's an option. So on the Platinum model, it comes standard with the captain's chairs, but here on the SL, those are optional, and they look really comfortable. I would go with captain's chairs, but I could see why a lot of people prefer the bench. But as far as driving dynamics go, I am very happy to report this thing is nice, smooth, and comfortable. And that's what's most important. So how much does this greatly upgraded Pathfinder cost? It starts at $34,560 for the Pathfinder S front-wheel drive model. That's a price bump of $1,430 compared to the outgoing version. The SV model is $37,350. The SL starts at $40,740, and you can climb way up to the Platinum and its super swank interior for $47,340. All-wheel drive is available on all trims for a $1,900 upcharge. We say that $1,400 price bump is worth it simply for the removal of the CVT. But I guess the upgrades and updates, those are all pretty good selling points too.